This is for the farmers from Nebraska and Texas. I don't know why you're mad. You're very angry right now. It's your fault. You're the ones who got rid of your farm workers. You allowed ICE to get them all, arrest them all. And now you got nobody to work in your land. And you thought because Trump said that Mexicans are robbing, stealing black people jobs, and you thought by getting rid of your workers, Hispanic workers, you thought that black people were going to come and work for you on your land? You're wrong. They're not coming to work on your land because the black people are educated. They are lawyers. They are judges. They're teachers. They're dentists. They're doctors. They're nurses, actors, business owners. They're not going to work in your land. So, and now I'm hearing that you are burning black people's farms. That's not okay either. That's pure evil. That's evil. Just because the black people that has farms, they don't depend on the government. You guys do. You depend on the government to work, to give you money for your land, for your farming. And the black people, they don't depend on the government. It's not okay to go and burn their land. Karma's gonna get you worse. You're already screwed. You're losing your lands, your farming. And now you're doing this to another farmers, black people farmers. You're gonna get it worse. That's envy. That's bad. And another thing, you're not going to have no black people working in your land. You can forget about that. Because this is 2025, not 1700.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Global Views with Josh, bringing you another deep dive into America's latest "you can make this up" moment. So if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification, and buckle up. Because today's topic, it's spicy. So apparently, some white MAGA farmers are absolutely losing their minds because, wait for it, black Americans aren't struggling enough. Yeah, you had that right. The same group that voted overwhelmingly for Trump, the same folks who cheered for tariffs, farm subsidies, and the so-called America First policies, are now angry that black neighbors are surviving, thriving even. Welcome to America's widest episode of Who's Supposed to Be Suffering?
So I'm a black farmer, and a lot of people are wondering, why are black farmers not panicking like a lot of white farmers? Well, let me explain to you the reasons why. It's because white farmers have been handed everything to them. A lot of them. Not saying all of them, but a good bit of them. And by that I mean this. MLK even pointed out. He says, farmers in the West and the Midwest who were white, they were given land, they were given money, they were given training, they were given a lot. Whereas the black farmers weren't given anything, and the largest civil rights settlement in U.S. history is Pickford v. Glickman, where you had a class action lawsuit, bunch of black farmers all joined the lawsuit, and they won a huge settlement because the USDA was shown to be racist for decades. So because black farmers haven't been given anything, we've been learning to do without, unlike your white farmers. So when things are taken away from you, all your subsidies, all your tax breaks, guess what? You panic. Whereas we've always been going through this shit. So there's problems in privilege.
I'm seeing all these videos right now where all these farmers are crying about not getting no help right now. You know what? Let me ask you something. When have you ever heard of a black farmer crying about it? Never. And you want to know why? Because they ain't never got no help in the first place. That's right. USDA's literally admitted to discriminating against black farmers. And literally black farmers had to sue, thousands of them, to get what white farmers are handed for free. And fast forward to today, all these farmers crying that they can't get no help. You see, black farmers, they've been struggling. Y'all just now feeling what they've been feeling for over 100 years. Black farmers, they used to own over 19 million acres of land. But guess what? Systematic racism, denied loans, shady politicians, and legal loopholes wiped them all out. Yeah. And now they're 1% of America's farmland. And when the government finally tried to pass relief for the black folk back in 2021, white farmers sued to block it, claimed it was reverse discrimination. Make that make sense. So, you know, next time you see folks complaining about farm aid, why don't you ask them, where's the help for the black farmers? Ask them why their struggle is just now important when others have been suffering for centuries.
Them farmers really thought we was going back to them fields. They really thought we was going back to them fields. You know what? My mother was the first generation on her mother's side not to be brought up on a plantation. Not to be brought up on a plantation. That's what I said. My grandfather had a third grade education, but he left my mama 2 houses, property in the bank, property and money in the bank, with a third grade education. And guess what? He worked in fields. My great grandmother worked in fields and cut that cane just like a man. You hear me? And if you think that Eddie Lewis and Victoria C. Jones and all the rest of my ancestors bust their tail in them fields for us to go back to the fields, absolutely not. That's not progress. We're trying to heal from ancestral trauma. We're trying to heal from that. That ain't happening. That produce could rot in them fields before we go back to them fields. They need to let them know that.
So as a Nebraskan, the farmers predominantly voted for the current president. They also voted for Pete Ricketts and Deb Fischer, who aren't doing anything for them. And China announced that they're not going to buy corn and soybeans today, or I think they've done it over the last couple days. I think it was last week, because of the trade war their current president that they voted for decided to wage, a trade war with China. They're not going to buy your goods. And I know that a lot of you have said that you want aid. Well, as a taxpayer who lives in Nebraska who did vote for the right candidate, I don't think I want my tax dollars going to bail you out. I think you actually should sit in your decisions and feel the effects. You want us to. Every time we vote for a Democrat and you say they're horrible. So at this point in time, I'm going to tell you the same thing you say to me back. You wanted to vote for this. Now you get to deal with the consequences. And I don't think I should have to bail you out, because I work hard for my money too, and my dollars shouldn't bail out your bad decisions. So yeah, today I'm telling you, the farmers here in Nebraska, you need to deal with your own decisions. It's your consequences, not mine, and I don't want to pay for them.
I'm so excited for everyone to call me a bad person again in my comments, but guess what? I do not care about Nebraska going bankrupt in 6 months. I do not care. I do not care. Maybe a few other of those red states should go bankrupt in 6 months so the blue states can swoop in to save them, so they can understand that we are not the bad ones. We are not the poor ones. We are not the ones who cannot survive under the orange turds' crazy policies. But you know why I don't feel bad for Nebraska? You know why? Because I believe I heard 65% of their workforce is undocumented people, which means they're not coming to work anymore, which means work's not happening, which means all the farmers in Nebraska are going to go bankrupt because they all went out there and voted against their neighbors. 65% of neighbors who are immigrants, okay? Fuck around and find out at this point. You know what I mean? And of course, I do feel bad for those blue people in Nebraska who did not vote for this. So unfortunate. That's what you get for being racist and not wanting immigrants in this country, even though they're paying taxes and contributing. So
okay, I want to address something that I saw on YouTube in regards to a question on why we are not hearing from a lot of black farmers during the midst of this economic decline here in the United States. A lot of black farmers have had to learn to be self-sufficient without government support. So in my opinion, that's why you're not really hearing from a lot of black farmers right now, because there's not a lot of us, and a lot of us don't have loans like that. There's been a push, I know, within my circle of people to make sure that your land is paid off and that you are not relying upon the government in order to feed your family. Yeah, that's just my opinion, but what we can do is go and talk to Dad and see what Dad has to say about all of this. Yeah, so let's go check on Dad, like I was saying, and have him give his opinion on... So just to finish our conversation about why you don't see a lot of black farmers online complaining about what's going on with the USDA and farm benefits and how they're getting ready to lose their farm. Like I said, a lot of it is systematic, and a lot of us didn't. First of all, the decrease in farmers have been happening since 1990. Like, it's real bad. I think it's only 1% of farmers that's black right now that's registered with the USDA, and they're black. There's only 1% compared to where it used to be, what, I think 13%. So it's dropped substantially, like ridiculously low. A lot of black farmers have lost their land through eminent domain, through systematic issues, and so there's, number one, there's not a lot of black farmers, and number two is when it's time to give out benefits or to help people to further their farm, black farmers are often overlooked. They don't allow black farmers to get, it's just a fact. There's been a history of discrimination, so they're not able to get loans and other benefits that come from the USDA to continue in business, and so that's another issue. And so you don't see a lot of black farmers relying on the USDA like that. So they're not going to be online complaining like you have other farmers that's out in Nebraska and other parts of the United States who are white farmers. You're not going to see black farmers talking like that because, number one, most of them are living debt free. They're not involved in the programs from the USDA, and there's not a lot of us here in the United States. So a thing that I wanted to kind of like bring up, what my dad has always taught me, and he has said it recently out there where we were putting the pine needles around the iris, the bearded iris. Dad always has told me, and because of my accounting background and because Dad has spoken this into my ear so often, he always talks about keeping the man out of your pocket. And when he says that, I think a lot of people think, oh, he's talking about the white man, keep the white man out your pocket. It's more than just, I guess, that. It's more of a systematic, like, keep the government, keep the corporations, keep the system from putting you in a position of debt where you are not able to maneuver during times of decline. And I think that's what you mean, right, Dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in my days, we had farmers that really couldn't read and write, but they had vast acres of land, like the Majors, the Pace, Molly Polymaze. Yeah, and you can name all of them. We had so many. We're in the Goose community, in the Homestead community, and the Perrine community. But their thing was to keep the man out of their pocket. And if a person that can't read and write knew how to keep the man out of the pocket, what do you think about? Yeah, think about an educated person, So we have to go back to the old school and stop getting all these loans and keep ourselves update with the laws, the new laws coming out, and pay your property tax, pay your property tax. And another thing, set up your property with a trust fund.
That way it bypasses probate.
Yeah. And do these
Keep
things.
the system out of your business.
Yeah. And then if you have a farm, get the family together on a monthly basis and talk about business. Just have every third Sunday, every fourth Sunday we'll come to the house and have a sit down and we talk about business and finance. We got to start doing that. Because if we don't do it, and ain't nobody else gonna help us. So minimize the man in your pocket. Pay off your know the difference between things that appreciate and things that don't appreciate.
That appreciate, right?
Yeah. And make sure you understand the difference. And try to pay off your house. Try to pay off your land.
Don't have a car note. Even the type of cars that we buy, they're salvage units. We never buy no new car right off the lot.
No new cars, no.
Salvage units are the best.
Yeah.
I had my salvage unit for years, and it only cost me $5,000. My son has a salvage unit. Everybody has a salvage unit, so we don't buy new cars because we know that as soon as you drive them off the lot, they depreciate. So we do a lot to minimize overhead, and I think that's what's going on. Why you don't see a lot of particularly like black farmers online complaining about what's happening in this economy, because you're not going to hear them talk about getting ready to lose their land.
And for the equipment, back in the days, black farmers knew how to network. You know what I mean by network? If they had a tractor, they let another black farmer use that tractor,
It's still going on today.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to go back to that.
When we went to visit Loretta and Mr. Sam
down in Augusta.
Yeah, in Augusta, they have a network
Their network
was really good
awesome.
with younger farmers and also neighboring farmers all helping each other, and they're all black, and so they're relying on each other for support and growth.
Yeah.
So tractors are involved in that, and when one person don't have something, the other person does. So there's a community of support.
I remember when my daughter first bought this property, and people was talking about negativity, and they didn't see the beauty of it. Now they see the beauty of it, and they're upset like hell. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you decide to do, you pray about it, and listen to yourself, and you go forward. There's the people back in the 50s. The 40s, the 30s, the 20s could do what they did. We could do even better if we stop this mess around. Concentrate on what we was put here to do, and we'll be able to go to the next level.
And stay away from them loans.
Yeah.
Because if you have loan on your land, and then loan on your house, and then loan on your equipment, I think you're guaranteed to fail.
Yeah, that money,
in this system.
Yeah, that money sounds good. When you get it, but when you get ready to pay it back, it's a headache.
So now let's start with the obvious. The economy is rough. Inflation's up. Farm input costs are insane. Exports have tanked previously. And many rural communities are drowning in debt. But here's the kicker. Instead of asking why Trump's economic plans aren't working for them, some of these farmers are wondering why black people aren't suffering alongside them. They scroll through TikTok and see black entrepreneurs running small businesses. They drive into town and notice young black professionals who still have jobs, or families who aren't defaulting on their homes, right? And somehow that turns into resentment. Not reflection, not accountability, resentment. It's like they're thinking, wait, we voted for Trump to punish them, not us. But see, here's the uncomfortable truth, okay? Many black Americans have spent generations learning how to adapt and survive economic instability. Systemic barriers taught them how to stretch a dollar, how to hustle, how to reinvent themselves when the system turns against them. So now, when the economy hits a wall, some black families already have resilience muscles that others are just discovering for the first time. That's the fact. It's not that life suddenly got easy for black Americans. Far from it. It's just that struggle isn't new terrain, okay? They've been in worse. Let's call it what it is. Racial envy disguised as economic frustration. So MAGA farmers aren't just broke, they are bitter that the traditional hierarchy they believed in is collapsing. They were promised by Trump that America would be great again, code for restoring the old social order where they felt on top, right? But now, as farms close and black families move into new levels of success, the illusion is cracking. That's when the denial kicks in. Instead of asking why the policies they supported backfired, they point fingers at the very people who have had to overcome these same policies for decades, right? Meanwhile, the government aid they thought would save them is drying up. The global market there that's used to buy their soya beans gone, thanks to tariff. And those promises about making rural America rich again, turns out they were just campaign slogans. You almost want to hand them a mirror and say, buddy, the problem isn't that black Americans are doing better. The problem is that your political hero told you everyone else was the problem. Because if your whole sense of pride depends on someone else's pain, that's not patriotism, that's insecurity. And the funniest part, some of these same farmers are now looking for government bailouts. The same kind of handouts they used to mock inner city's family for receiving. Oh, the irony. So, here we are. America, the tables have turned. The economy is hurting, but the people once expected to crumble are showing strength. And the ones who laughed the loudest, they are crying the hardest. Maybe this is the wake-up call rural America needs. Not to resent their neighbors, but to finally question the political machine that's been exploited or that's been exploiting their anger for votes. They should question that. But because at the end of the day, struggle doesn't care about race, but ignorance, that one definitely does. So what do you think? Is this resentment really about economics, or is it about losing a sense of superiority? Can MAGA farmers ever accept that hard work and resilience aren't exclusive to their community? And most importantly, will they ever realize that Trump's economy didn't fail them because of black success, but because of his own bad policies? Yeah? Drop your thoughts below in the comment section. I'll read for this comment section. I'm ready for them. I'll read them, right? I'm ready for the comment section, to light up. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video if you found it eye-opening. Until next time, stay informed and stay real. Credit belongs to original creators.